Hello everyone, in this video we are going to learn about the pseudo classes. We have gone through the selectors, different types of selectors like element selector, ID selector and the class selector till the previous video, right? And here in this video we are going to learn about the pseudo classes which will be applied to the different lists, different hyperlinks. For the anchor elements we will use pseudo classes to stylize our links and text a bit more easier. Okay, it is used to define a special state of an element. Okay, these pseudo classes are used to define a special state of element. Generally, this pseudo class is a keyword that will be added to the selector. Okay, generally we will use some keywords to the selectors that can be specifies the special state of the selected element. Okay, and in the next video we are going to learn about the pseudo classes for different hyperlinks. We will use pseudo classes for anchor elements in the next video. In this video we are going to learn about the pseudo classes for the text. That means we are going to apply the different styles for the list elements in this video. Okay, let me proceed further into the topic. Firstly, I am opening our Visual Studio Code Editor project. Okay, this is the thing that we made till the previous video, and if you see the result of this file, it will be looks like this. I have made some changes for my page by taking the basic features only. Don't worry about it, you can make changes by your own. I have not used any additional features for my website, right? This is the thing that we have discussed till the previous video, and in this video we are going to learn about the pseudo classes, right? Okay, and the general thing is this is the content that we are developed in a CSS file, right? And for example, if I want to make changes for the first element of my list, right? This is an ordered list, right? For this ordered list I want to make changes for the first element, and this is the unordered list, and for this unordered list I want to make changes for my first element, right? And for this is also an unordered list, and for this unordered list I want to make changes for my first element, right? And the thing is we need to make changes for the first element of the list items, right? For this first element, and for this first element, for this first element, for every list item we need to make changes for the first element. For example, to make changes for this first elements of the every list item, we can easily use the selectors. Like if I give the class selector here, if I give the class attribute over here, after giving the class attribute changes, I am giving the reference name as changes. If I give the same class attribute, I am copying it from here, copying it, and see here, if I give the for every list item, if I give the same thing, we can make changes in this by using that class attribute. Like we can use dot for the class attribute, we have given changes reference name. If I give any changes, like if I want to give text align, let me consider text align to modify it to the right of the corner, right? And I am saving here. If I give a refresh, see here, the every first element in the list will be modified, right? We can give the modifications for the every first element of the list item like this. Okay, this is the first element of the list item. This is the general thing that we can also make changes, but by using pseudo classes we can do the same change in a simple way. Like I am taking all these things, okay, I am removing all these things here, I am also deleting this thing. In pseudo classes what we have to do here is, for example, if I give list item, okay, this will be applied to entire list items. For example, if we give the element selector like this is an element selector for the list items. So the whatever the changes that we made in this curly braces, right, the changes or the properties that we applied to the within the curly braces will be applied to the every list item. Like for every list item the changes will be applied. In the pseudo classes what we have to do is, if I give this two dotted symbol and I am including my first child, right? If I include this thing, this is nothing but a pseudo class, right? For example, if I want to give the any change for this, for example, I want to make the changes with font weight. Okay, I want to make them as bold, right? If I give save, if I give a refresh, see here, the every first element of the list item will be changed to bold. See here, okay, these are all the things that we have changed to the bold, right? This is the use of the pseudo classes. Okay, without taking the attributes of the class selector or the id selector, we can easily make changes by using the list pseudo classes. That means we will include the list item here. After including the list item, use one two dotted symbol, and then we will use first child. For example, this is the in the list item, the first child will be class here. For example, this is the entire the one list, like this is the ordered list, right? This is the ordered list. In this ordered list, the first child will be this only, this class is the first child. And in this unordered list, the first child will be compile time polymorphism. Okay, that means if you consider here, okay, in this unordered list, right, in this unordered list, what is the first list item? This is the first list item, and the changes we made over here in this pseudo class will be applied to every first element of the list items. If whatever the list item may be, the list item may be ordered list or the unordered list, whatever the list item, it will be applied to every first element of the entire list, right? If I want to give changes for the last element, like we can include last child here. We can include last child here. If I give save here, and I am giving save, see here, this is the last child. Okay, this is the last child. Okay, we may also give some different styles, like for example, for the first child, I want to give font weight as bold. Okay, and I am using the another list item with the last child. Okay, for this last child, I want to make changes for my font style. If I use my font style over here, I want to make them as italic. If I give a save, and after refreshing, see here, the last element will be changed to the italic, right? This is the thing that you need to understand. For example, if I want to make changes for this, here, see here, this is also the last element. Okay, this is also the last item of our last list item, right? If I want to make changes for the third thing, right, this is the third element. For that, we have for a particular list item, okay, for a particular list item in a list, we can have the pseudocode like list item with mth child. If I use mth child, and we need to mention the parameter value within the parentheses, right? Between these parentheses, we need to include the parameter value. That means which element, which list item you need to make changes. For example, I want to make changes for this third list item. For that, I am using 3 here, and if I give here, I want to change the color of that. Okay, I want to change color to red. Okay, if I give save, after saving, refreshing, see here, the third element will be changed to red. And if you see the change here, this will be changed to red, because in this unordered list, this is the third element. Okay, and this entire unordered list, this is the third element. Okay, here in this way we can make the changes for our list items, right? Instead of using the class selectors and the id selectors as the attributes of our list items, we can easily make changes by using pseudo classes, right? By using the pseudo classes, we can change our element properties, right? Okay, we can change our element properties. One more thing is, you might be thought that, for example, if I use article here, that means if I want to make changes for this para, okay, for this para by using pseudo classes, like the first para over here is, okay, in this article, the first paragraph is this one. That means this thing over here. Okay, if I want to make changes for that para within the article, we can use descendant selector like article space P, and by using two dotted symbol we can include the first child, right? First child. Here this thing is nothing but a descendant selector. That means we are including the parent and the child relationship. Within the article we have the child P. In that, for that relationship we are applying the pseudo class. Like if I apply in the first child over here, that means okay, in the article in the P we are applying the for the first child. That means for this first para, for that child, if I made changes over here, like I want to change my color to blue. Okay, blue. I am using blue here. By giving a save, if I refresh, observe carefully here. You might be thought that this entire thing will be changed to the blue thing, right? But the thing here is it will be not changed, because in the article P the first child is not this paragraph. If you see carefully, this is not the first child of this article, right? In this article this P element is not the first child. Then what is the first child in this article element? The header is the first child of this article. Okay, that is the thing you need to imagine before applying the pseudo classes. Okay, and if I include any changes over here like P, some unwanted para, if I consider this thing, okay, after saving, I am see the changes carefully. See here, this will be turned to blue because in the article we have the P element as the child element here. Okay, the first child in this article now will be changed to P element, right? For this P element we have the changes here as article P first child. Okay, in this article the P first child will be this one only. For that P tag we have the changes. Okay, because here P element is the first child of this article. If you remove this P element, okay, I am giving a refresh, we are not having any changes with this paragraph, because now the changes for this thing will be happen to the header file, because header is the first child of this article, right? For example, consider the last child, like I will include like one para here, like some useless text. Okay, I will saving here, and if I give here as last child, okay, if I made changes, see the thing here, see some useless text will be added at the last of the article, and that article will be considered as the last child of the article, right? In this article the last child will be this para, this P. That means this P element will be the last child of this entire whole article, right? For this entire article, okay, for this entire article this element will be the last child. Okay, for just now I don't need it. For your clarification I have added upon it. Okay, this is the thing that we want. I think you might thought of the how we will use pseudo classes in our CSS file, right? Okay, instead of using the selectors like class selectors and ID selectors for different list items, we can consider the entire list items. For example, if you want made changes for this first element for every list item, you can use the pseudo classes like list item with some two dotted symbol, and we can include first child. For example, if you want to make changes in between the first element and the last element, like third element or second element, fourth element, seventh element, whatever the thing may be, you can include them in the empty child keyword, right? By using this empty child keyword you can make changes over here. For example, if I want to make changes for my odd elements, right? For example, if I want to make changes for my odd elements like 1 3 5 7 9, for all the odd elements I want to make changes here, we can also give the parameter like this also. Okay, for odd, for even, we can also make changes. Like if I give a save here, for the entire odd elements the red color will be applied, like 1 is the odd element, right? And 3 is the odd element in this list items, right? And for in this list item 1 is the odd element. There is no any other odd element in this list. And if you look over here, 1 is the odd element, and in this list 1 is the odd element, 3 is the odd element, 5 is the odd element, and 7 is the odd element. For this entire thing, the properties will be applied over here. Okay. And we can also make changes for the even elements. If I give an even here, and if you see, observe carefully, see here 2 4 is the even elements, and here 2 is the even element. And if you consider, if you take a look over it, this thing also will be changed, but you are not clear about it because it is an link, and we will see them in the next video. If you see here, the second thing will be changed to, fourth thing will be changed to, fourth thing, sixth thing, these are all the elements will be changed to the properties of red. Okay, now I think you might be clear of all the pseudo classes, how it should be applied to in them in the list items, right? And in the next video we are going to learn about the applying the pseudo classes for the links. We have different anchor elements. For the anchor elements we need to apply different pseudo classes for the anchor elements. Okay, we will cover all those topics in the next video. Thank you.